saving America one mind at a time. This is Smith Radio. And now, your hosts, Kerry and Brian Smith.
The story of Poland is the story of a people who have never lost hope, who have never been broken, and who have never, ever forgotten who they are. And so I am here today, not just to visit an old ally, but to hold it up as an example for others who seek freedom and who wish to summon the courage and the will to defend our civilization. Americans, Poles, and nations of Europe value individual freedom and sovereignty. We must work together to confront forces, whether they come from inside or out, from the south or the east, that threaten over time to undermine these values and to erase the bonds of culture, faith, and tradition that make us who we are. What we've inherited from our ancestors has never existed to this extent before. And if we fail to preserve it, it will never, ever exist again. So we cannot fail. The fundamental question of our time is whether the West has the will to survive. Do we have the confidence in our values to defend them at any cost? Do we have enough respect for our citizens to protect our borders? Do we have the desire and the courage to preserve our civilization in the face of those who would subvert and destroy it? Just as Poland could not be broken, I declare today for the world to hear that the West will never, ever be broken. Our values will prevail. Our people will thrive. And our civilization will triumph. So together, let us all fight like the Poles, for family, for freedom, for country, and for God. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Polish people. God bless our allies. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Smith Radio. Your host, Brian Smith. Tonight, I'm going solo tonight. Just a shout out, everybody. If you've been following us on Twitter at Smith Radio or follow me on Twitter at Brian P. Smith, you would know by now that Kerry Smyth is in the hospital, still in the hospital. Originally last night, we thought it was, or the other night, we thought that it was an appendix situation. He was going to have to go in, have an appendectomy, emergency type thing in the middle of the night. So he kind of got lucky, went to the ER, the emergency room. A VA is going to pick that up 100%. So something that I didn't know, and I just found out myself, and Kerry found out. I told my brother, who was also in the Air Force, and he didn't know either, that if you are a veteran of any branch of the service and you're not in the military anymore and you're out, and you have to go to an emergency room, it's 100% covered by the VA. As far as we know and what we've been told by the hospital administration, if you are a veteran and you go to the ER, any emergency room whatsoever, the VA will pick up the tab 100%. So, Kerry, this is for you, buddy. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need any lawyer, and you don't need a bankruptcy. Don't worry about it, my friend. I told Kerry, and my personal thought on that is, you got hospital bills, whatever. Tell them to get in line, set up a payment plan. But anyway, so Kerry, our thoughts and our prayers are with you, folks. Please say a prayer and think about Kerry. The problem is right now, he's still in the hospital. He's going to be there until tomorrow. And they're going to reevaluate him tomorrow. They're not doing the appendix surgery, the appendectomy. They're not doing that as it stands right now. And they're monitoring him and pumping him full of morphine. He's enjoying that. Never had morphine in his entire life. And he's enjoying that quite well. Still has so much pain, though, that it's with him. So, again, co-host on Smith Radio, Kerry Smyth. Shout out to him. I'm going to try and cover a handful of topics tonight. Going to be as thorough as we normally are here on Smith Radio. If this is your first time listening to Smith Radio, please follow us at Smith Radio on Twitter, at Brian P. as in Paul Smith on Twitter. You can get a hold of us through Facebook, through YouTube, anywhere. There are media channels, tube channels that I have signed us up for that will be Smith Radio. So I promise you, if you're out there in the media world and you're looking for Smith Radio, just type in Smith Radio. It will come up. On iTunes, iHeartRadio. If you listen to iHeartRadio, you can find us there as well. iHeart.smithradio.com will take you directly there. And if you want to be a part of the chat tonight, and again, tonight, those of you on the chat, thank you so much for supporting Smith Radio and coming every Sunday evening, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Tonight might be a little bit shorter, but we'll just play it by ear. We'll just, if it's relevant, we'll roll with it. If it's not, then we might cut short, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you for being on the chat. It really gets us excited to see you every single Sunday evening. The conversations back and forth with each other, conversations with us as well while we're live in studio. And if you want to be a part of the live show on Sunday evening, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern, you can follow the link smithradio.info. That'll take you directly to the Spreaker page. Click on the link for the live show, and then all of a sudden, boom, it'll pop up, and you'll see the live chat streaming through as well. We've set up a Patreon account. Please, we've been doing this for almost 4 years now. We are in our 4th year of Smith Radio, exposing fake news, exposing the left's agenda, the George Soroses of the world, the evil that is out there. The older I get, the more I see, folks, it really is. It is good versus evil. There's no other way to get around it. Either it's wrong and it's evil and it's bad, or it's good. And we expose that and show you who's good and who's not good. I've said this many times before, and I said again, people I run into throughout the week, throughout the day say, well, Brian, if there's so much fake news out there, who do I listen to? Listen to Smith Radio. I'll give you a heads up. I'll let you know who you're supposed to listen to, whether it be the Mark Dices of the world, whether it be the Jack Prosovics, Mike Cernovich, I keep wanting to call him Prison Planet because that's his handle on Twitter. Paul Joseph Watson, Prison Planet on Twitter. Those are the folks that you need to follow. Those are the folks that you need to see because they're putting out the real news. You got Ben Garrison, who's an incredible artist and puts up some really great artwork on his channel, GRRR Graphics. Absolutely incredible. So I follow those kind of folks. And if you go to Twitter, you'll be able to see the folks that we follow. And you should follow them as well. Anyways, so I digress. We've got a Patreon account set up. Patreon is a website that allows you, the listener, or the person patronizing our business, to subscribe to us, to put in a monthly subscription, whether it be $1, whether it be $2, whatever the subscription is. We are much obliged. We are absolutely very, very grateful, and we're thankful that you're out there. And again, we have folks out there that they can only give $1 or $2, and that's incredible. That's great. For those of you who love the show a lot and you have the means to give $20 on a monthly basis, I'm flabbergasted. I'm absolutely grateful. We are upgrading equipment here in the studio to where we'll be streaming a live video. So we're going to go take Smith Radio, go live streaming video either through Periscope or on the YouTube as well. And that will be coming very, very soon. So we're excited about that too. So patreon.com/Smith Radio. Really, really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. And we are here for you on Smith Radio. And you can listen to the last 4 years of our commentary and exposing the fake news that it is. So let's get into some good news real quick. Let's get excited about Donald Trump being president of the United States. Let's get excited about remember this night?
Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency. The business tycoon and TV personality.
Honestly, I can't. I could listen to this every single day and never get sick and tired of it.
Victory. Donald J. Trump will become the 45th president of the United States, defeating Hillary Clinton in a campaign unlike anything we've seen in our lifetime.
Right, unlike anything we've seen. And that's an absolute fact, folks. Donald Trump has never held a political position in his entire life. He is the first president of the United States of America that is not connected politically. And I've had people say to me, well, what about generals? There were generals that weren't politicians. No, folks, 4-star generals, officers in the military, any of the armed forces. If you are an officer, which means a captain, lieutenant, colonel, general, those positions, not the enlisted, which are lower ranking military personnel. Officers, generals, they are absolutely political. In the Air Force, when you submit your resume for another rank or a raise in rank, you also have to submit your picture because they want to make sure you look the part. So don't tell me they're not political. Donald Trump is the first and only president we've ever had that is for the people, by the people, in the sense that he has done everything that he said he's going to do. Absolutely. It's starting to fall into place. And mainstream media, Democrats, their worst nightmare is about to happen. Donald Trump's economy soaring. Remember back when Obama was president, the mainstream media couldn't stop screaming about the stock market numbers, the record in stock market. Did you know, does anybody know that there's more records in the stock market? The economy is really ramping up. There's a business owner I know that does siding for houses, and he's a pretty big business. He's got a lot of employees and been doing this for years and years and years. He said right now he cannot hire enough people. He said the market for him in that industry is really ramping up. There's a lot of money that's coming through there, a lot of demand coming through there. And just one business that I know of that's ramping up and really starting to feel the goods of the market. Talking about that this weekend, and I'm absolutely excited. We're coming into right now a seller's market with the housing economy. People that own houses, man, you're about ready to get what you want because people are buying houses, and you're able to sell them for whatever for your pretty much. I mean, it's not an 5, 6, 7 type situation where people were paying double and triple for what houses were actually worth. But no, you're getting to the point to where we've got a great economy ramping up. And we're 6 months into this presidency, 7 months into the presidency, and this is absolutely incredible because before, the outlook that we had with Barack Obama, the outlook was awful. The index, the confidence index for the direction of the country was awful. And so right now, all you hear is the screaming heads of mainstream media talking about how everything's awful now, trying to squirrel, send people in the wrong direction, make them see something that's not there. It's absolute insanity, and we've got that for you tonight. Kerry, earlier this week, did a Periscope. I've linked that in the description of this show. So if you want to see his full Periscope on the CNN blackmail, the CNN fake news network, only here on Smith Radio will you hear breaking commentary, new thoughts that have been laid out, and really be able to see the fake news unfolding. And this is something that nobody is talking about. Paul Joseph Watson's not talking about this. Mark Dice isn't talking about this. Cernovich isn't talking about these guys that are out there. Nobody's talking about this. None of the talking heads, the Fox on 5 on Fox, they're not talking about this. CNN, and this is a theory right now. Haven't been able to prove it, but if you go and listen to Kerry's Smith Radio, it's pinned at the top. So at Smith Radio on Twitter, it's pinned at the top. The Periscope that Kerry did earlier this week. he started to put some ideas together, some thoughts together, and then started to do some deep research to find out who is HanAssholeSolo. And you're like, what, Brian? Yes. This is, and if you live on a rock, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. This guy is this Reddit guy on Reddit was found by CNN. CNN and this guy named K-File at K-File is the only guy. K-File is the only guy in the entire world that found HanAssholeSolo. And HanA HoleSolo is claiming that he was the one who invented or created the Donald Trump meme that has gone insanely viral. I mean, if you go back to Trump's timeline and you pull that video, that meme up to where Trump is clotheslining CNN and then punching CNN with music going on in the background and crowds cheering. If you go back to that, within 6 hours, and we talked about this on last week's show, within 6 hours of him posting that video, that meme, it had 60,000 likes within 6 hours. By the end of our show, or midway through the show last week, which would have been 7 or 8 hours that had been posted, there were 90,000 to 100,000 likes on that meme that Trump had posted. It went soaring. I saw it the next day, 560,000 likes on that meme. It just had legs and it couldn't stop running. It was unbelievable. If you want to go back and look at it now, I'm not sure what the numbers are now. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I'm sure that it's gone nuts. And here's the deal. And Kerry's going to kill me because I'm probably not going to say it as well as that he would articulate it. But I got to give it to you, folks. Here's what we talked about. Kerry called me up and said, Brian, what do you think of this? And he started digging into it. And here's the thing. Let's rewind. Let's go back. Trump posted the meme. The meme goes viral. Liberals, Democrats, mainstream media, Rhino Republicans get triggered. They get triggered and calling Trump for violence. And it starts to go on and painting this narrative. Now, CNN looks like an absolute joke right now. And CNN has no credibility whatsoever. And just throw this out at you to back up what I'm saying, is that Mark Dice, who has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So when I say Mark Dice, if you don't know Mark Dice, you got to get on the YouTube and just type in Mark D-I-C. Just type in Mark Dice. He's been doing this for years. He's got really short, great commentaries and videos that he puts up. But Mark Dice posted, well, before Mark Dice posted this, there was a tweet that went out that said, go download CNN's app on the Google Play. So we all downloaded the app and we gave it a 1-star rating, commented and posted that as a 1-star rating. Mark Dice screenshotted and posted to Twitter that that CNN's rating went from a 4.5-star rating down to 1. A 1-star rating for CNN's app, fake news app, which was absolutely incredible. And this is created. This is by you and me, folks. If you ever thought that we weren't getting through to people, if you didn't think that there is this militia, if you will, and that might trigger some people, the militia, the Trump Nation militia that we have, this arsenal that we have. We don't need violence. We don't need guns. We don't need punching of people. However, I do subscribe to the guns. I do have a few myself. I enjoy them as well. And for target practice and hunting, and also defending myself. So if you didn't know that you were with like company, if you didn't know that that this movement is really as big as it is. Folks, trust me when I say we are out there. The movement is out there. You've got to lock arms with like-minded individuals. If you're easily persuaded and your confidence is kind of low, don't get into mainstream media. Just stick with us for a while, build up your confidence, learn a little bit more. And when you have that opportunity and you're confronted with SJWs, social justice warriors, or folks that are easily triggered, you'll be able to handle them. So my whole point, lock arms with us. We are doing it and we are making it happen. And, let's see. Number nine. So we're going to get into, this is the first sound clip of the evening. This is what CNN reported on. They had a whole article that was, where did Donald Trump get the SJW? Where did Donald Trump get the meme? Not the SJW. Where did Donald Trump get the meme that he posted on Twitter? And CNN, out of everybody in the entire world, CNN K-File is the only person in the world that knows who it is.
Jim, the White House will not say where the president got the video, but a senior White House official said today it was not from Reddit, which is a popular internet messaging board. The problem is we and other media outlets who have searched can't find any evidence of it existing anywhere but Reddit before the president picked it up. Now, why does that matter? Because if he got it from that source, a whole bunch of new questions about racism, bigotry, and violence come into play.
Okay. So you hear that? Getting this from Reddit, you see trying to paint the picture for you folks. CNN, and this is inside ball game stuff. CNN, we know George Soros, CNN, the deep state, Democrats, they have plants all over the internet. They're everywhere over the internet, wreaking havoc, creating havoc, may even be pretending to be a white male, a white Anglo-Saxon individual, a Caucasian individual, pretending, and then posting racist comments, racist rants, KKK stuff, and attempting to be legitimate in the sense that if they get noticed and are legitimized, whether it be by media or whether it be by other individuals that notice them, the media may point at that and say, see, look, the followers, and none of it stick. And we've seen it in the past where they scream that the followers of KKK, they follow Donald Trump, KKK Donald Trump, racist, bigot, sexist, homophobe, Donald J. Trump. And we've, again and again, throughout the entire campaign, 2 years, just a little over 2 years, throughout the entire campaign. So you see the narrative they're painting. Now you see how CNN, all the fake news, CNN completely falling apart and imploding. CNN all of a sudden sees that somebody posted a video or the meme similar to that of the one Donald Trump posted. And they find out that this guy is part and parcel in with them. One of the inside guys, one of the fake account guys, one of the Soros guys, maybe a rogue agent that they picked up and found out he was good to go. He was down on their side. Maybe not. We think that it just happened to be one of these guys. CNN finds out, oh, he's one of our boys. Oh man. How lucky did we get on this? It's so close to what Trump posted. So this is one of our guys. So we are going to use this to our advantage. So CNN comes out with this news article. And now they're calling the HanAssholeSolo. They're calling him a huge Trump supporter, or at least excited. Well, no. Let me play the rest of the clip. You'll hear how they talk about HanAssholeSolo.
What's going to happen?
The video shared by President Trump to his 33 million personal Twitter followers and then to 19 million more on his presidential account was apparently first posted by a Reddit user who goes by this online name and who has also laid claim to it. That user of Reddit's online message board reacted enthusiastically. Wow, I never expected my meme to be retweeted by the God Emperor himself. I am honored. But others are worried.
The God, folks, this is getting ridiculous. Who out there that is a follower of Trump refers to Trump as a God Emperor? You got to listen to the words. It just doesn't even make sense that somebody would say that. Okay, I digress.
Including the Anti-Defamation League, which surveyed the user's post and found a consistent record of racism, anti-Semitism, and bigotry. This individual traffics in online hatred and at times violent rhetoric. And the ADL seems to call out the president, saying, when those on the fringes of society feel their messaging is getting mainstream attention, that should raise alarms.
The fake media is trying to silence us, but we will not let them, because the people know the truth. The fake media tried to stop us from going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not.
It all comes as the president is raging away at the media with a fiery speech and a Twitter attack on two MSNBC hosts that was so coarse, members of his own party were stunned.
For the President of the United States, the greatest country of the world, the person who is representing our country, to use that kind of language, it's just so inappropriate.
For many critics, it harkens back to the campaign, and Team Trump was at times accused of sharing material promulgated by racists, whether on purpose or carelessly is unclear, and inciting violence.
Okay, so they said racist, but it wasn't clear if he knew it was racist, and violence. Okay, so they threw the racism thing in there, and then they throw violence in there, and here's the sound clip that they're claiming is the violence part, but they never back up the claim that this is CNN. This is the fake news network at its worst, attempting to smear our president.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
There's a lot of people I'd like to punch in the face too, K-File.
The campaign always denied the accusations, especially those about violence. And his deputy press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, did it again just last week.
The president in no way, form or fashion has ever promoted or encouraged violence. If anything, quite the contrary.
In CNN's official response to the new video, however, the network said clearly Sarah Huckabee Sanders lied. And we should note that this video does not appear to be exactly the one posted by that Reddit user.
Okay, did you hear that? This is just a couple of minutes into the soundbite, and he admits it is not exactly like the one the Reddit user supposedly used. And supposedly he was 15 years old, but then K-File on Twitter is blasting people for lying. And no, he's an adult male. So 15 years old, adult male. Okay, whatever, guys. Anyway, so it's not exactly like, and they just said that Huckabee Sanders lied. A lie is knowing the truth and then saying something completely different on purpose. There's no lie there, folks. There's no lie. The only lie that's out there right now is CNN, and it's on the lines of propaganda, if you will. So finish this up, and he's saying right now that it's not exactly like the video Trump posted.
Who noted online some edits were done to both the pictures and the sound, even as he laid claim to it. That raises questions about who made those.
Okay, so go view his comments online. No, you can't. You can't view any comments. He's deleted the account, the Twitter account. Benghazi all over again. Where's that guy from Benghazi that made the movie? That inflamed the that inflamed some Muslims to go take a walk and kill some Americans. Where did that guy go? What? Is he even real?
Changes, and again, with the White House saying the president didn't get it from Reddit, how did it wind up in the president's hands? And was he aware of its origin? We've asked the administration. No answers yet, Jim.
And that was to Jim Acosta that he was talking with. Jim Acosta, fake news. Okay, so you've heard CNN's side of it. It's flimsy at best, hokey, which is standard for what they do. They are linking, and this helps. This proves. This gives more credibility towards proof that Kerry's theory that he came up with originally, that nobody, nowhere, haven't heard this anywhere. He calls me on the phone. He's like, what do you think about this? I haven't heard anybody talking about this. No, nobody's talking about this. HanA HoleSolo either works for, is a figment of CNN's imagination, is part and parcel of the deep state, the George Soroses of the world, is one of those fake accounts trolling, and accidentally CNN is able to somewhat stretch, and they even admitted it's not the exact same video meme that Trump reposted. And then what they do with that is and we are wondering who was responsible for the altering of the original video, and why would they alter it? CNN minds want to know. No, dude, it's fake news. It's fake. You're fake. It's fake. It's all fake. And so my point to Kerry was, bro, if it's that fake, are they that stupid that this would blow up so big in their face and drive them backwards, if you will? And we've both come to the consensus that yes, those people, the powers that be, they are that stupid that they can't see what's coming through on the other side. They can't see what's about ready to happen. They can't even get out of the rain because they don't have the smarts. Literally, you've got, and I keep saying the George Soroses, but when I say the George Soroses, I'm saying those people in the background that are paying the money for the Antifa riots in Germany, that are paying for the riots in the Black Lives Matter, that are paying for all these, creating all this chaos. The powers that be, the ones in the background, the Soroses of the world. If you don't believe that the internet is loaded with fake accounts, I'm here to tell you they are. At one time, I had, and I don't have the passwords or the names anymore, but at one time I've had up to 75 Google accounts, 75 Gmail accounts. I had almost 100 Yahoo accounts, and then create other accounts, whether it be on YouTube, on Facebook. Early on, it was Facebook, to where supposedly you can make money doing that. Fake accounts. You can buy out of Romania. You can buy a program that will monitor hundreds of your fake Facebook accounts, YouTube accounts, and you can monitor them all and use them supposedly to market to other people. You can buy these accounts with thousands and thousands of friends already loaded on them. They look like real friends with real pictures. You don't know how deep the dark web is to get what you want. And we've got a guy, Sam Keels, that's been with us for years now. And I'm really, really excited about Sam being a part of the show and helping us monetarily. I also want to thank Dale for going to patreon.com and being a subscriber as well. Vanessa for subscribing. Thank you very much. Mary Lou for subscribing. Thank you folks for subscribing. But If you don't know that this is out there, I'm here to tell you. Sam Keels, he knows the deep, dark web. Kekistan Rose, Kek knows the deep, dark sea. There's things out there, and it's so deep and it's so dark. And the evils of the world, the mainstream media, the MSNBCs, the fake news CNN, those are the folks that use this information. They use the backdoor dark web, if you will, to their advantage. And like I said a few minutes ago, CNN with a 1-star rating gets help from the dark web, gets help from none other than the Google. Google erased 15,000 1-star ratings that they deemed were fake ratings in order for CNN to get somewhere up to close to a 4-star rating. Seriously, folks, the web is deep and it's dark. This is so plausible and so real that it almost, and it's so simple too. Occam's razor. If the correct answer is usually the simplest answer. This is the simplest answer. It absolutely is. CNN found out a guy coincidentally posted a meme that looks like the meme that Trump posted, but isn't the exact one. And HanA HoleSolo plays ball with them. Why not do it? Why not do it? And then all of a sudden start this blackmail. K-File originally posted on Twitter that HanA HoleSolo called in to CNN to apologize. And then K-File called him back to double check and really make sure that he wasn't going to do this again. And his racist, anti-Semitic, bigoted, homophobic KKK rants will be no longer. And he is so very, very... What I would love for CNN to call and bash Smith Radio for throwing up a meme. If you've been on Twitter at all, this entire week was loaded with nothing but CNN memes, like trending CNN memes, meme war. The entire week was nothing but that. And if you follow us on Twitter at Smith Radio and then my handle at Brian P. Smith, you would have seen. I got silly with it on Thursday. Thursday for hours. I took some of the best compilations of the Trump CNN memes, and you can find those all over YouTube now, the compilations. And I took those compilations and I cut each and every single one of them out. And as soon as some knucklehead like Jay Taper would tweet out, I would instantly, within the first, maybe the second retweet or comment to his tweet, I would instantly put up the CNN fake news Trump bashing meme. It was hysterical. The memes were hysterical. And now you got InfoWars. And if you're not following at InfoWars and Paul Joseph Watson at Prison Planet, they have announced $20,000 to the best Trump CNN meme. $20,000 tweeted out to Paul Joseph Watson. He's going to handle, and he's been given the powers to find and search for the best Trump CNN meme. One caveat, it has to have InfoWars in the meme. Okay, for $20,000, all right, I'll put InfoWars in the meme. InfoWars in the meme. The best meme out there, $20,000. They're also, InfoWars is also putting up a huge amount of money for anyone who is caught on CNN camera in the background or whatever, screaming CNN fake news. I mean, folks, this is what we do. This is war. This is meme war. We are fully entrenched and a full-fledged meme war with the mainstream media, with the propaganda arm of the deep state that attempted with Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, the Democrat Party, attempting a coup, a silent coup to take over America, to erase the Constitution of the United States, to make us irrelevant. George Bush, by the way, George W., hanging out with the Clintons. Such a shame. Got tricked by him. Got tricked by Paul Ryan. But we all grew up. We all grew up. We got lied to. I mean, little children, they don't know no better. They trust anybody. We trusted Republicans. Maybe not trust them, but knew growing up, well, I'm picking the lesser of two evils. And it's always got to be a Republican. No, not anymore, folks. We've got new powers out there. And thank God we're growing with new news media. We are growing leaps and bounds during Trump's presidency. It would be a whole nother world. It would be so awful and so hopeless if we were growing mediocrity or just growing underneath an Obama regime. We attempted it and get stamped out, get held down, get blacklisted, get shadow banned on Twitter for months and months at a time. Months and months at a time. Smith Radio had followers, and it ran up to 4,000, 5,000 followers. And from 5,000 to 6,000 was just impossible. There was no possibility of breakthrough. It was insane, the amount of followers we couldn't get, we didn't have, and we weren't growing. Something was going on there, and then all of a sudden it's been released. Smith Radio hitting over 9,000 followers. My account as well. This weekend, I just hit just over 6,000 followers as well. It's hard work, and we're sticking at it, and you may think that we should have more. We should have a whole lot more, but that's okay. We're in the trenches. We're working hard at it, and we'll be there. We'll have that. We'll get there. Smith Radio is growing fast on Twitter right now. We're growing fast on YouTube as well. Linking arms, liking, sharing, not hating on other conservatives doing the same thing. That's what we do. Ronald Reagan always said you can do anything. Anything can be done as long as you don't care who gets the credit for it. Folks, if we never explode and become mainstream, if we don't, which in my mind we will eventually, it happens. The connections we've made, the growth that we've had, it'll happen eventually. And CNN will call us out, and I'll laugh and I'll smile. The more that they hate on us, I know now. The more that they would hate on us, the more I know what we're doing is right. So those that are hating on Trump, the more hate, the more anger for his daughter, for his wife, for the family, the more you know what's going on is right. Take comfort in that. Honestly, take comfort in that. So I digress. So InfoWars growing. Paul Joseph Watson, an international sensation. Mark Dice, 1 million followers, international sensation. Smith Radio growing. Cernovich, an international sensation. I'm just saying, Jack Posobiec, a power to be reckoned with. These are the folks under a Trump administration. It feels like we're helping. It feels like we're doing what we do. And if you're out there, and I've heard people call into Sean Hannity's show and say to Sean Hannity, man, what can I do? I want to do something. I really feel like I need to do something. What can I do? And Sean Hannity doesn't normally have an answer for him. I've got your answer. Here's what you do. You go out and you support new news media. Shut down the cable. Shut off the CNN. You don't need it. Nobody needs it. The more that don't listen to it, the more that have nothing to do with it, the better off we are. Absolutely the better off we are. CNN ratings for their news channel, followings for the news channel, plummeting. The Gateway pundit, Jim Hoft, posted this week an article that he wrote to where Discovery. I don't know if it's Discovery Planet, Investigations Discovery, some obscure channel. It has more viewership in main time, than CNN. Fake news. Just they are becoming obscure and irrelevant. Shut off the cable, because every time you pay for your cable bill, CNN gets a piece of your cable money. That's how they survive. They get a piece of somebody else's cable money. And it's sad. It's frustrating. And I did get it into the story, the fake news network, K-File, and maybe a possible Democrat operative. It's possible. Very, very possible. But I had mentioned that there was great news. Well, great news. One, we've got CNN. Every time they turn around, they smack into a wall and we catch them. We catch them every single time and we blast them. It would be a nightmare to be an employee of CNN as a fake news anchor and posting on Twitter. It would be an absolute nightmare. I couldn't handle it. Go look at some of the CNN, like K-File, Jake Taper. Go look at their Twitter accounts, and when they tweet out, look at all the Trump Nation people that post to him, confirming to him how fake he is. It's absolute insanity. So, but some of the great news that has been overlooked by the media, not talking about the record markets, not talking about 225,000 new jobs, not talking about the 17-year low unemployment for minorities, and this one they're not talking about. I posted a picture last week on Twitter of a gas station down the street from me. $1.97 a gallon. If you don't remember this, the last time it was $1.97 a gallon was when George W. Bush was president. Folks, it's getting good. It's getting real good. Need to get real happy about the things that are getting good. It's just exciting right now. A couple other things that happened this week that were pretty big in the news was the Poland. Trump in Poland this week gave a speech in Poland. I didn't tweet this, but Doctor for America, DR for America, posted this on Twitter, a picture of Melania Trump and Donald Trump. Melania Trump is just, she's a powerhouse, absolutely intelligent, just beyond the average person, 7 languages, to be articulate enough and to hold your own, knowing 7 different languages, and English was not her first. But to give a speech in English, what an amazing woman. So she was in Poland this week. Trump was in Poland. So I didn't put this up, but Dr. for America did on Twitter put a picture up of Melania and Trump and said, this was the meme, said, FLOTUS, First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump lived and was raised under communism in Slovenia. She knows the suffering. She understands the suffering of living in a communist regime. I'm adding to this. It wasn't the full tweet. Now she returns to Poland as wife of the President of the United States of America, the greatest country that humans have ever seen, the freest country that human beings have ever seen. God's hand in destiny. Enough of you out there prayed. Enough of you out there prayed. We prayed for 8 solid years. Day in and day out for 8 solid years. God always answers prayer. Answers it in His due time. He knows why. We don't know why until we look back. I'm here to tell you, we had to suffer. We had to suffer so much and for so long. We had to lose and lose and lose. We had to have it rubbed in our face by our own Republican Party, losing and losing. And it had to be that hard and that bad. God knew it. For the backlash to be so big that we absolutely guarantee Trump becomes president. That Trump, the loud, boisterous man that he is, the leader of the free world, showing leaders of the world how to lead. I'm not joking. It's not me. You got to hear this. This is just the last bit of his speech. I played a little bit at the beginning of the show, but I'm playing it again. This is the last bit of his speech in Poland. Fake news media says it's the worst speech ever. Fake news media, CNN, MSNBC, commentators, pundits, knuckleheads, idiots out there saying that Trump's an embarrassment. Charles Krauthammer, on the other hand, greatest speech ever since Ronald Reagan. I'm telling you, folks, don't think for one split second that we don't have an opportunity of a lifetime. Don't think for one split second that we are not in a position to get back what was taken by the communists, what was taken by the socialists, what was taken. I mean, look at Venezuela. If you want proof of communism, dictatorship, if you want proof of that, to where the government owns the businesses, the government makes the rules for the businesses, go to Venezuela. 100 days of people rioting in the streets, 97 dead, civilians, not military, 97 dead in Venezuela, 1,500 injured. The Venezuelan military is shooting protesters with live bullets. It's communism for you. But don't think for one second that we're not poised to take back America and once again show the world that the greatest nation that took a hit for the last 100 years. We're coming out with a book. We're talking about Smith Radio, putting a book together in process right now. Generation X, Truths We Must Confront. The 20th century, communism flourished and was born and flourished. The baby boomers grabbed a hold of it and loved it. Took advantage of it and moved forward with it. They're not letting go. They're part of the deep state. Barack Obama, raised by a communist mentor. Some people call him a mentor. I call him his father, Frank Marshall Davis. The DNC, the Democrat National Committee, the Democrats, the party, the least amount of power, political power, since the early 1900s. Some say 1917, some say 1910. It is getting worse for the Democrat Party. And folks, mark my words, the elections that are coming up for the Senate and the House, we will hold the House. We will hold the Senate. The Generation Z, as they're calling it, but it's the millennial. It's a mix. It's a blended up mix of millennials, Generation Y, Generation Z, I guess they're calling them now. They're waking up. Not only they're waking up, but they're getting jobs. And they're starting to realize what we, as Generation X, have seen. We saw when I was a teenager, I could get a job in a heartbeat. And if I didn't like the job, I quit it and I could have another job the next day. Back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, the Clintons rode, and when I say rode the coattails of Reagan's economics, they rode it like it was never ridden before. Claimed responsibility for it, took it as their own. Yeah. We saw what it was to live nice. And now we've also seen, Gen X has also seen the fall out of that. The .com bust. The housing market bust. The economy bust. The spending. The spending. When G-Dub left office, to $9 trillion in debt. When Barack Hussein Obama left office, $19.5 trillion in debt. Solyndra, Tesla, electric energy, solar energy, fake energy. It's all fake. We saw it. We saw the squandering. We see the baby boomers now. This is not all. It's just generalization. But the majority of baby boomers that grabbed a hold of that brass ring, retired early, 2 incomes, two retirements, pension, 401k that wasn't melted away, got out of the market before the boom, the .com, was out of the housing market before the fall. Just all these things that the baby boomers took advantage of. I'm telling you, a worker at Ford putting steering wheels on the cars throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s. The baby boomers got filthy rich. For every car produced today, Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, they are paying per car $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 per car to fund that line worker with the steering wheel for the pensions. I was talking with some guys that worked on that. Where are those pensions nowadays? I don't know. Who gets a pension? Who even talks about a pension? Take that out of the hands of take that out of the hands of capitalism. Capitalism worked. Sorry, folks. Capitalism worked. Companies had money to do that. But the government doesn't want that anymore. They don't want you relying on your company. They don't want you believing in capitalism that pays out. Get rid of those pensions because we need these people addicted to the government and addicted to a redistribution of wealth, addicted to the low mediocre economy. I don't know if you know this, folks. People in Europe, when they sit around, they talk and they enjoy themselves on the weekend or the evenings, they don't sit around and talk to each other about their jobs. We here in America do. I thought it was interesting. There were some German folks that were visiting, and my wife was curious about what they did for work. And they felt that to be an odd question. And I knew it was an odd question because they don't talk about that kind of stuff. Here in America, we're proud of our jobs. We're proud of the American worker. Look at Budweiser. Look at Ford Truck. The commercials that they make. The hard work on the backs of the American people. The hard working man. The working man. That's America. It's what we do. We're proud of our jobs. Proud of who we work for. Government wants to take that away. I want you to be proud of that anymore. You want to be proud of the government getting the money. Okay, I digress. So the producer's flashing the red light at me. Here's the end of Trump's Poland speech, the greatest speech he's given to this date, possibly the greatest since Ronald Reagan, the great Ronald Reagan. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, I'm not the first to say it. You might be the first time you heard this. At this pace, right now, and I'm not bloviating and I'm not pontificating. At this pace right now, Donald J. Trump is on track to be the greatest rebuilding president we have ever had.
The story of Poland is the story of a people who have never lost hope, who have never been broken, and who have never, ever forgotten who they are. And so I am here today, not just to visit an old ally, but to hold it up as an example for others who seek freedom and who wish to summon the courage and the will to defend our civilization. Americans, Poles, and nations of Europe value individual freedom and sovereignty. We must work together to confront forces, whether they come from inside or out, from the south or the east, that threaten over time to undermine these values and to erase the bonds of culture, faith, and tradition that make us who we are. What we've inherited from our ancestors has never existed to this extent before. And if we fail to preserve it, it will never, ever exist again. So we cannot fail. The fundamental question of our time is whether the West has the will to survive. Do we have the confidence in our values to defend them at any cost? Do we have enough respect for our citizens to protect our borders? Do we have the desire and the courage to preserve our civilization in the face of those who would subvert and destroy it? Just as Poland could not be broken, I declare today for the world to hear that the West will never, ever be broken. Our values will prevail. Our people will thrive. And our civilization will triumph. So together let us all fight like the Poles, for family, for freedom, for country, and for God. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Polish people. God bless our allies. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Moving. Absolutely moving. That is your president. That is Donald J. Trump speaking to the world on a world platform. And the media can't handle it. Fake news CNN. Democrats' worst nightmare. Trump winning. America winning. The economy winning. Jobs winning. Keystone Pipeline has already been in. It's already in the works, folks. We are winning. The rhinos in Congress and the House and the Senate, the rhinos that can't get on board with anything of Obamacare change, slight change, mischange, whatever it is. You've got to do something. I don't care if it's a little bit. I trust Trump. He hasn't steered us wrong yet. You got to do what he says he's got to do. Got to do it. They say they're on course to produce something soon. We'll see what happens. But my point is, Trump getting things done without the help of the Democrats. Without the help. When I say without the help, Trump getting things done. Mainstream media fighting him tooth and nail. George Soros fighting him tooth and nail with Antifa, with the riots, with the hate, with the anger, with the fake accounts on the internet. You've got the Democrats that are wreaking havoc with their insanity. As the politicians that are the Democrats that are out there saying some of the most moronic things. They're fighting Trump. And you've got the GOP. You've got almost every one of these guys out there right now fighting Trump. Paul Ryan. Weak-kneed follower. Will have to do what Trump says to. Eventually he will have to. Mark my words, it will happen. And this is the last compilation. This was from a Trump rally speech on fake news.
The fake media is trying to silence us, but we will not let them. Because the people know the truth. The fake media tried to stop us from going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not. Their agenda is not your agenda. You've been saying it. I will never stop fighting for you. I am delivering on trade, on the economy, on the Supreme Court, on the Second Amendment, on our military, for our veterans.
Don't forget about that. These are the list of things that we go over with you day in and day out. When you come to Smith Radio, this is what we talk about. Talk about the great things. VA Reform Act that Trump put in place for accountability. People are getting seen faster. Our veterans are getting seen faster. Care is up. Let's get the suicides down because they need that care. Supreme Court justices, folks, forget everything else. Throw everything out the window. This is elementary and it is rudimentary. If you control the Supreme Court, you control America. Supreme Court justices rewriting definitions for words, writing law, which is unconstitutional, just unheard of. That's not their job. But we had that. We had that with George Bush pick. We had that with Obama pick. We had that with Clinton pick. We got some dirty judges up there. Got to get rid of them. Trump stays in power for 8 years, 2 full terms. Supreme Court will be loaded with judges that will do for the American people, that will abide by the Constitution, that will go by the Constitution and not their own personal agenda or their personal feelings. That will be for a generation. That will be for our generation and the next. I'm telling you, this is so critical. It's so important. Believe me when I say Trump is getting it done. Trump is absolutely getting it done. Sean Spicer in the White House. He's a boxing champ. What do you do about this Sean Spicer? He is, if there was anybody that I'd like to hang out with, obviously hang out with DJT. There's no question about that. DJT on the chat line. If you want to be a part of the chat, you're listening to Smith Radio. If you want to be a part of the chat line, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday evenings, go to smithradio.info. It'll take you directly to the Spreaker page, and you can click on the link right there for the title of the show where it says live, and you will be in the chat room. To go back and forth. Kerry Smyth on the chat line. Thank you, Kerry. I'm in good enough spirits to tweet back, message back and forth. It's great to see you alive and kicking. And folks, we were joking in the hospital room with Kerry a little bit. He and I have kind of I don't know, some people would say kind of a rough sense of humor, but it's all good. When Kerry's laughing and cutting up and his sides are hurting, having me tell him not to laugh, things are going good. Kerry's in the hospital this week. Be out shortly. Be back for next week. But again, Sean Spicer, other than hanging out with DJT, I would love to hang out with Spicy. Sean Spicer seems like one of those guys that you could kick back, have a beer with, and just talk over anything you talk about. This is a montage of Sean Spicer, Jim Acosta, going back and forth because Sean Spicer is now telling the fake news media they got to turn the cameras off. But I don't want no cameras in this press briefing. You know what? We're going to do the press briefing. We're going to do it in my office. Spicer on Laura Ingram's show a week and a half ago told Laura Ingram that some of these fake news media guys want to be famous YouTubers. They want to get their minute of fame acting like an idiot in front of the cameras. Just ridiculous. So here's a little montage of Spicer and what Spicer has to put up with when it comes to Jim Acosta. I believe there might be a soundbite of Trump and Acosta going back and forth, but check it out. This is entertaining.
It's like we're just covering bad reality television is what it feels like now. The White House press secretary is getting to a point, Brooke, where he's just kind of useless.
There was surveillance that was done on a variety of people. that came up. No, how do you, Jim? I find it interesting that you somehow believe that you.
Of course, they're going to be looking at these various things.
Okay, I get it. There's no camera on, Jim.
Well, maybe we should turn the cameras on, Sean. Why don't we turn the cameras on?
Jen.
Why don't we turn the cameers on?
I'm sorry that you have to do it. Jen, go ahead.
Why not turn the cameras on, Sean?
Jen.
They're in the room. The lights are on.
Olivier.
Do we have cameras on the president? Hold the press conference. Sean.
First one is Senator Corker.
We'll continue to mix things up.
Why are the cameras off, Sean?
Try.
Why did you turn them off? Can you just give us an answer to that? Can you tell us why you turned the cameras off? Why are they off, Sean? It's a legitimate question. You are a taxpayer spokesman for the United States government. Can you at least give us an explanation as to why the cameras are off?
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news organization. Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state, Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically,
Mr.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
I mean, what more do you want? Is that not hysterical? I mean, Spicer is acting like a baby. Or, sorry, not Spicer.